Welcome everyone to our Northwest Immigrant Rights Project Virtual Celebration. Our program will begin in just a few minutes, and I just wanted to remind everyone that closed captioning is available for this entire celebration together. If you click on the link that is just below this live stream, we have closed captioning available both in English and in Spanish. Rex, hi, nice to see you. Subtítulos están disponibles. Por favor, hagan clic en el enlace de abajo, and we are so excited to have you all here. Also, a reminder that we would love to have you join us in the chat, as many people are. Saludos, Linda, también, and Rex. Many people are joining us. In order to jump into the chat, you just have to create a free YouTube account, which YouTube calls a channel. Once you have created a YouTube channel, then you will be able to talk with all of the fun people, put in emojis. We are so excited. We also would love to see some or all of you. So wherever you may be right now, we invite you to take a selfie of yourself and whomever you're with, and then text that selfie to 206-880-3735. And we're going to be able to see, hopefully, many or all of us who have gathered together today. So we'll begin in just a few minutes. We're so glad you're here. Welcome. Hello again and welcome everyone. We are so excited to have you here at our virtual celebration. And to begin, I am very excited to get to welcome a longtime member of the NWIRP staff. They are a senior legal advocate and accredited representative in our Citizenship and Naturalization Unit. And we are very excited because he and his all Egyptian band are here to start off our afternoon with a song. Would you please put your hands together either in real life or in the chat for Amar Hagag and Cairo Crowd. Here they are. Can we have one more big round of applause for Cairo Crowd? And Omar, thank you so much. And I hope you noticed that in the chat, Omar was presenting all of the members of the band, and we are so grateful that you are beginning this virtual celebration with such wonderful music. Welcome everyone to Northwest Immigrant Rights Project's virtual celebration. We are so excited to have you all here. And I will tell you that this is going to be a very short and sweet event. Our goal is to have this take under 45 minutes, and we will achieve our goal. So welcome, and Omar and Cairo Crowd. I do want to say many people are sending you their appreciation in the chat, so check that out. I am now very honored to get to introduce someone who really needs very little introduction, who is here with me. He was a staff attorney in the Tacoma office of NWIRP, but for the past 14 years has been serving as executive director of NWIRP. Would you please help me in welcoming Jorge El Baron. Jorge, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing all right, Ian. Thank you so much. I'm just honored to be here. As Ian mentioned, my name is Jorge Baron, and I've had the privilege of serving as executive director of Northwest Immigrant Rights Project. And I'm so pleased to welcome all of you this afternoon to this virtual event to share about the important work NWIRP is doing and help us raise the support needed to continue that work into the future. And our fundraising goal for this afternoon is $300,000, and we hope you will consider making a gift to help us reach this goal.
Yeah, and I do just want to remind everyone that closed captioning is available for this entire event in both English and in Spanish. So if you look just below this live stream, you will find a link. If you click on that link, then you'll be able to have closed captioning.
Y para la comunidad que nos está escuchando en español, queremos decirles que tenemos subtítulos en esta presentación. Entonces, si quieren tener subtítulos en español, por favor, hagan clic en el enlace de abajo y van a poder ver esos subtítulos en español. Muchas gracias.
And at any point, if you can help us towards our fundraising goal, we ask you to make a donation. You don't have to wait. You may have received a personalized text message with a link that will allow you to make a contribution this afternoon. And so we invite you to click that link and make a donation. Or you can click on the link that we are putting into the chat right now. That will take you through to our donation platform, Greater Giving, and you'll be able to support NWIRP. And I also want to remind you, if you need any assistance as we are gathering today, if you need assistance with YouTube, or if you need assistance with making a contribution, maybe you'd like to contribute in a different way than using a credit card, please send us an email. You can reach us at gala@nwirp.org, and we have volunteers who are standing by and waiting to assist. Also, you can find volunteers in the chat. You can actually find a lot of people in the chat, like Katia and Marcela, and saludos and bienvenidos todos. We're so glad that you are all here.
Well, we're so glad everybody's here. I see some wonderful people in the chat. Thank you so much. And as we mentioned, we have this fundraising goal, $300,000, substantial amount. But the good news is that we have a great head start towards that goal. And we're so grateful for sponsors that have contributed a significant amount already. We are grateful to, you see here on your screen, all of these wonderful entities and organizations that are sponsoring the event this afternoon. So thank you so much to all of them. And we also want to thank, there's two longtime donors of NWIRP, Ed Curtis and Leslie Wagner. They have been super generous with us over the years, and this year they are being super generous with a pre-gala challenge match, which thanks to the pre-event giving, we were able to meet. So we're super grateful for that. Thank you so much to Ed Curtis and Leslie Wagner.
Yes, thank you. And I have really great news because, you mentioned, Jorge, that we do have this very big goal to achieve. But because of all of that support that we already have, our thermometer of giving is already well on its way towards that goal. And if you can see that all of those sponsorship entities and organizations, they are helping us with almost $100,000, which is We are so grateful. And then you just heard that Ed and Leslie are helping us with 25,000. So Leslie Wagner and Ed Curtis, thank you, which puts us well on the way towards to our goal. And again, you can help. So give those people a huge round of applause. All of these, oh my gosh, and Joe and Jennifer, we just want to say thank you to all of your, for all of this support that is happening. We could not be doing this without you. You can applaud for people in the chat at any point. You can just, let them know. Just as a reminder, you can make a contribution in Greater Giving. You may have a personalized donation link, and if you do, please click that right in your mobile device. And as you are doing that, we want to spotlight some of our incredible donors. You will see their names right here. These incredible donors, we're so grateful, and their generous gifts will be adding to our tally throughout our program. So thank you very much to all of these people, and to all of you. We're so grateful.
And for those of you watching who want to join, we would love for you to join that list of wonderful supporters. There's no need to wait. Just head to the link that you see on the chat, and your gift will be added to our tally as well. So thank you again for considering a gift to Northwest Immigrant Rights Project.
And I'll just say, Jorge, people are doing this. I know we said this is going to be a short, sweet event, and I know that many people that are joining us today are people who get things done. So, and I can see so Pamela and Dwayne, thank you, and we're already at $175,000. Elaine and Paul, so many people. Thank you for being here with us this afternoon, for showing up to celebrate. And by the way, we would love to see some or all of you as we all gather together virtually. So we're going to invite you, if you could take a selfie of whomever you're with, wherever you are. If you're in a boardroom, or if you're in your living room, take a selfie and then text it to this number. And Jorge, maybe you and I could actually do this.
Right.
We're going to take a selfie. Here we are. And we'll send it in. And then we're going to have the opportunity to see some or all of the people who are with us today. So please do so.
Well, thank you, Ian. And we would love to see people, so please do send in the selfie. And just to start us off, a little bit of a lighter note, we wanted to share a little bit of a trivia question for this virtual celebration. And so we wanted to let you know about an important development at NWIRP, although it's not specific to our work, and that is that we recently formed the first NWIRP staff soccer team. I should say really football team, right? And so we wanted to see if folks could guess what the name of the NWIRP soccer team is currently. And so we're going to give you 4 choices here, and you're going to see them on the screen. Choice A is Norpeños. Choice B is Ice Crushers. Choice C is the Green Cards. And choice D is Warrior Lawyers FC. So Ian, what do you think? And let's see, I think we want to see people on the chat with their guesses. Which option is it?
Yeah, I'm curious what people, personally, Warrior Lawyers FC just sounds very NWIRP in some. Oh, and Luanda's here. Hi, I see people are guessing A, B, A. People are thinking that maybe it's Norpeños, which, okay, and A, B, C, D. Ali says D, Warrior Lawyer. I agree. Okay, so it's not quite fair because I actually do know the answer. It's written right here in our notes. So the correct answer is Ice Crushers. It's B. So Taylor is correct. They're right. It is Ice Crushers. Very well done. Oh, that's right. We
actually get to see our team right there, the Ice Crushers at one of their recent games, and their band of supporters. So thank you to our soccer staff, soccer players who not only do amazing work, at work, but also on the field. So thank you for that. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker for this virtual celebration, and somebody who is a member of the NWIRP Board of Directors, so one of my bosses, who is also a very special member of the NWIRP family. I'm pleased to welcome Tania Santiago. Tania.
Muchas gracias, Jorge. Being here this afternoon, sharing this celebratory event with all of you is truly an honor. Immigrants continue to face daunting threats in our country, but with you as allies helping to fuel and fund this work, I have no doubt that we are helping to build a momentum towards an era of unprecedented progress in the immigrant rights movement. For many of us gathered here today, our commitment to NWIRP and its mission is rooted in personal history, and that is certainly the case for me. I'm one of NWIRP's newest board members, having joined only this past December, but my connection with NWIRP goes back many years. First as a client, then as a staff member working as a legal advocate, and now as a board member. I love NWIRP for many reasons, and I'm truly grateful to have the opportunity to give back to an organization and community that has given me so much. Frankly, I really don't know where my family and I would be had it not been for NWIRP. I was born in Mexico City, with my earliest years were spent growing up in extreme poverty. I don't remember too much of that time, as we came to this country when I was only 5 years old. For over a decade, the fear of being deported weighed down on us constantly. During this time, I also found myself contemplating my life goals. I dreamed of becoming an astronaut and a lawyer, and at one point, I even wanted to be a superintendent of a public school district. But all of these aspirations required that I go to college. I remember asking myself, could I go to college as an undocumented student? How could I afford it, especially without the ability to work legally? Could I apply for scholarships, or, would I even be able to accept them if they were offered to me? Luckily, it was then that my family and I found NWIRP. I remember walking into the NWIRP office and immediately feeling supported. It was as if they grabbed my hand and said, "We are going to support you and your family." Over time, NWIRP helped me and my family obtain a U visa and also helped us get a green card. Having a green card has truly been life-changing, and it has opened many doors for me, including helping me get a job and also student loans. During my 3 years working at NWIRP, I got to further witness and be part of the transformational power and work of this organization. Since then, I've gone on to work at the King County Council, I've earned my master's, and I've joined the NWIRP board, where I can give back and pay it forward. As you can see, getting immigration status has allowed me to fully engage in the community and country that I have only ever called home, to fully participate every day without fear. And that's what everyone deserves. And that is why NWIRP is here. Thank you for joining us today and for choosing to partner with us, and most especially for sharing in the belief that everyone deserves to have their human dignity and fundamental rights respected. And now I will pass it on to Jorge and Ian.
Thank you so much, Tanya. I know I'm speaking for everyone here today when I say that NWIRP is very lucky to have you as a leader. And folks, your generosity is incredible. We are so excited to announce that Christina and Mark Dawson and John Aslan, 3 of our longtime donors, are making a very generous matching donation. They will be matching gifts at any amount up to a total of $20,000. So please consider making a gift right now to take advantage of this match. And thank you so much. And thank you, Ian.
Yeah, and I just want to say also thank you. I mean, people are being so generous. I can see gifts are coming in, and people are showing up for NWIRP, including people have been sending in selfies. And so we wanted to take a look at some of the people who are joining all together today. And so, this is so lovely. You know who that is?
Yes, of course. Artie, our wonderful development director. And it's great to see people. Linda, Dan, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Oh, and Rex.
Colleague Rex, awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
They have made this happen, by the way.
Wonderful. Seeing all of our supporters. This is amazing.
Yes, please. Oh, that's a good photo. Yeah. Send these in. Yeah, look. Oh, the staff is here. And I also wanted to just point out in the chat, I noticed that, people are coming from all across the state. From Wenatchee was saying hi. And
there's some of our Wenatchee team.
There they are. I love it. Oh, and they even sent in a photo. They're in the chat. Oh, and Alex, one of our producing partners, thank you. Hey,
who are those guys?
I don't know, but hey, that's okay. That's what it looks like around here. So please, we're so excited. Send in selfies. If you have not yet, remember, just take a picture and then you can text that photo of yourself and the people you're with to 206-880-3735. Saludos de Vancouver. Oh, Adriana, bienvenidos.
Oh, gracias, Adriana. Saludos.
Yeah, we have people, from all over the state. Welcome. I also am now very honored to get to invite the next person to our virtual stage. And this person was a client of NWIRP's 10 years ago. And late last year, she actually reached out to her former NWIRP attorney, Laura Contreras, to say thank you for the impact that NWIRP has had on her life in the years since she was a client. So if you would please welcome the incredible story that Catalina has agreed to share. Here she is.
My name is Catalina Nico Luca. I was born in Mexico, but I have lived in the U.S. since I was a small girl in Washington. I used to believe that I was born here until I realized that I wasn't. And I used to think that my stepdad was my father because I don't remember my real father. What brought my family to the U.S. was when I was a young girl, my mom decided to leave my father because he was abusive and he was an alcoholic, and she put up with it for a long time. My mom never talked about being immigrants, but I think that is also something that was always in the back of her mind as to why we could or couldn't do certain things, pretty much things that would probably cost money. I feel like that was a big factor, is could my kids get in trouble where they would find out that we were immigrants? Are my kids safe with these people that I don't know and that I don't know if I can trust? Because my parents just had so much on their mind and were never really good at having discussions with us, even just asking us how we felt about it or informing us about a lot of stuff. It was just more of a, you do what I say. I was 14 years old when we got placed into CPS, and that's what led us to have Laura help us.
Catalina came to our office with her caseworker, who was assigned to her through the dependency court. And he must have known a little bit about the special immigrant juvenile visa when he had contact with her, so he brought her in to the office, and we had a consultation and determined that she could be eligible for this special immigrant juvenile visa.
Laura helped me and my two younger siblings. I applied to the Navy, and I know that that's something that I couldn't have applied and been a part of had I not had my permanent residency. Through the Navy, I received my citizenship, and through having citizenship and military experience, I was able to have 2 different state jobs. Jobs that I know I wouldn't qualify to have the benefits and the pay had I not had a social security number. So definitely the quality of my life is impacted greatly based off of my opportunities for work. And through my opportunities for work, I have been able to buy my own home, which I'm proud to say because I'm 26. Dear Laura, I have lugged this thank you card around for almost 9 years. This is long overdue. It has been almost 10 years since I've received my permanent residency card. I haven't sent...
When I received Catalina's letter, it was around the 20th of December of 2021. I distinctly remember receiving it because I had been out of the office for several days. I had back-to-back individual hearings in Seattle Immigration Court, and things didn't go as expected. So when I came back, I wasn't in the best of moods. And when I saw her card, I got really excited because she wrote all over that card. It was a long story that she put down. And just to see and hear from her the journey that she had taken, it just lifted me from a time that I was feeling pretty down. So it just gave me a lot of hope. One of the things that drew me to Northwest Immigrant Rights Project in Granger is just our location and where we're at. Granger is the hub of agriculture. We're surrounded by orchards and vineyards and hops everywhere. And it's right smack in the middle of Central Washington. What does it mean to me to be part of Northwest Immigrant Rights Project? It's that it values fairness in our communities and in the court system. It values solidarity and the work that we do with other community organizations that are serving the same clients that we're serving. We can't do this by ourselves. We're doing this in solidarity with other organizations. And for NWIRP to allow us to do this work, I can't think of a better place to work than here.
If I hadn't had the opportunity to work with Laura, my life would be completely different. I'm bettering this one person's life, which happens to be me, really just help improve society and to help me see who I was. And we need more of that in the world, more people knowing who they are. And most of the time it's just good people who are just in bad situations. So my hopes is to continue to grow my job, trust my intuition into how I need to live my life and my personal life, and as far as a partner whenever that comes, and whenever it's time to be a mother, that I know that I'll be there.
Catalina, thank you so much for sharing your story with us this afternoon and for illustrating the life-changing impact of the work of Northwest Immigrant Rights Project. You're such an inspiration to us. I also want to thank Laura and our team in the Granger office for their tireless advocacy on behalf of our clients in the Yakima Valley and Tri-Cities areas. And I also wanted to say hello to Adriana, who has been posting on the chat. Saludos, muchas gracias por sus palabras. And while Catalina's story is an inspirational one, I hope you know it is also only one of many stories that are currently being written by our clients. Every day we receive calls from people like her who need legal representation to help face our unjust immigration system. And those calls are coming at a moment when we've seen how people seeking protection in this country are being used as political pawns by certain governors. I know all of you watching this reject this infliction of cruelty on people simply seeking safety. We know you've joined us this afternoon because you share our belief that every human being should be treated with dignity. You share our belief that whether a person should be safe from violence or whether they can stay together with their family should not depend on where they were born or how much money they have. But the reality is that conflict, violence, and other reasons are forcing people to leave their home countries, and many of them are coming to the US and to our region to seek safe haven. And for the past 38 years, NWIRP has been a crucial part of making Washington State a welcoming community to these new neighbors. This past year was no different, as we have had to respond to new urgent needs. One example is our new Afghan Community Project that is working with Afghan community members who came to Washington after being evacuated from their home country over the past 18 months. Despite their finding temporary safety here in our state, they were granted only temporary immigration status that will begin expiring in the coming months. And so we're ramping up efforts to help them apply for asylum and other forms of protection. We're also responding to needs from people from Ukraine, Venezuela, Nicaragua, and over 150 other countries. We are assisting people who just arrived in Washington State, including unaccompanied minors who have arrived to our region at an unprecedented pace over the last 2 years. But we're also working alongside people who have made their home in Washington State for decades, including DACA recipients who are facing particular uncertainty at this time as threats to that program are ongoing and who will need continued assistance in the coming year. But we can only provide that assistance because of all of you who have joined us today and so many others who are part of our community of support. When a client calls our office this afternoon, the reason there will be someone to respond to that call is simple, because all of you who are joining us are also saying yes to us. Your generosity is what helps us respond to the most urgent issues facing our client communities. And your continued support is critical because the dysfunction of our immigration system means our clients' cases are pending for years. In fact, of the cases we closed last year, the average time the case was open was over 1,000 days. So when we take that call this afternoon, our ability to say yes to that client depends on our knowing we will have support not only today, but years from now. It's for that reason that we're asking for a gift today, and we invite you to use the link in the chat for that. Thank you so much. And we invite you to not only make a gift, but also to serve as ambassadors for NWIRP and our clients. Please help us share the information you have heard today and help us convey to others how important this work is. Thank you so much in advance. And thank you, Ian.
Thank you, Jorge, and again, Catalina, for sharing your story. Thank you. And to so many people, I can just say, like, who have been contributing, as you have been telling us about the work of NWIRP, people have been so generous. Jim, thank you for your gift, and Carol, and Linda, and Ann, so many people. We are so excited. And I do just want to remind everyone about what Jorge said earlier, that that Christina and Mark Dawson and John Aslin are offering to match any gifts up to $20,000. So please consider taking advantage of that. And also, we're going to spotlight some more donors who have been helping us. All of these incredible people, thank you for your incredible support. And that support will be showing up in our thermometer, which, by the way, Jorge, you can see is well on the way towards our incredible goal. Our goal, you know, we're already almost at $220,000 towards that goal of $300,000. So thank you to all of these people. And as people are being so generous, we wondered if we could, you know, test their knowledge a little bit also, and with another trivia question, because, you know, your first one was really great. So do you have another question for us?
We do. We want to talk a little bit about like NWIRP's work. And so this question it's a little bit of a trick question, because actually I kind of gave the answer just a minute ago. So we're trying to test how closely people are paying attention. And so the question is, of the cases closed by NWIRP last year, how long had the average case been pending? And so we have four potential answers. So choice A is 6 months, choice B is 1 year, C is 2 years, and D is 3 years. So we're going to invite you to post in the chat what you think the correct answer is. And I see Janet saying D and Art saying D, lots of Ds. So maybe people were paying attention.
People were, well, not only were they, obviously, people were paying attention, but they also are very good at math, because you didn't give that answer exactly in that way. I was paying attention because, you know, I'm supposed to do that. And I heard you say that it is more than 1,000 days. So you're all correct. 3 years is the correct answer. And so, you know, well done to all of you. Also, I can see that more of you have been sending in selfies, and we're so grateful that you're all here showing up, being part of our chat, being part of this celebration. And so we wanted to see some more people who are here with us. Oh,
wonderful. There you go.
That's a cute photo is what that is.
Absolutely.
I see. So you can see people are coming from wherever they're working, which of course these days is a lot of different places.
Hello, Emily.
Yes.
Good to see people. Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes.
Everywhere.
From all over the state, I can see people. Oh, well, see, now that's proof.
There you go.
Because
we're watching us. That's right.
That's happening right now. Okay, that's great. Thank you all. This is so lovely. And thank you all for being here. Oh,
hello, Tess and Calvin.
Yeah,
hello.
People at every generation are showing up.
Wonderful.
Salute. We're drinking coffee here as well. And I can see that people in the chat are also saying hello. And Chio is loving the selfies. Oh,
group of people.
This is
a party. I love it.
Yeah, they took over the boardroom, over the conference room, and that's exactly so many great people. So thank you all. This is so lovely to have you all here. And just as a reminder, that people are also are being so generous and sending in photos. So thank you all. And you know, Jorge, we told people that this would be a short, sweet event. So we have one more important person that we're excited to invite to the stage. And this person has been a staff attorney in NWIRP's Tacoma office. Prior to joining NWIRP, she was an intern with the ACLU of Washington and with North Carolina. So would you please welcome a current member of NWIRP's staff team, or legal team, Amanda Ng. Amanda, welcome.
Thank you, Ian and Jorge, and thank you everyone for joining us today. This afternoon, you've heard a few stories that we hope have provided you with a clear understanding of the impact that community support has on our clients' lives. In the humanitarian and immigrant rights context, storytelling has always played a central role in facilitating change and driving action. Whether through stories that highlight the need for advocacy of pressing policy issues, or through narratives that help organizations like ours to engage with caring and compassionate supporters like you, storytelling has been instrumental in delivering meaningful impact and outcomes. Before we conclude today's event, I'd like to share a few words from my own story as a staff attorney who works primarily with detained individuals at the Northwest Detention Center in Tacoma. I've had the privilege and honor of working in partnership with NWIRP clients since late 2020. And throughout that time, I've spoken with countless detained folks as they navigate the complex and ever-changing realm of immigration law. I've met formerly incarcerated community members, longtime residents of Washington State, and recent arrivals from the southern border. And I've worked alongside them in preparing arguments for why they should be allowed to stay. In many cases, we are forced to condense some of the most painful events of their lives into just a few dozen pages of paper. Each client comes to us as a person entrusting their story to NWIRP, and trusting that we will ensure their unique voice and humanity be heard in a system that really attempts to do everything but recognize the individual behind the case number. It's not easy work, as I'm sure you can imagine, but this is a generations-long fight, and we must keep going. I take comfort in knowing that we each have a crucial role in this endeavor to restore justice, at the border, in the courtrooms, in our communities, and in our hearts. Thank you for playing your role in this movement. Thank you for all of the different ways that you support our clients' needs. And thank you for helping our legal staff to continue applying a collaborative, holistic, and creative approach to our work. When we work in solidarity with one another, we prove what's possible as we forge a better future for immigrant communities everywhere. Thank you so much for your partnership in this work, and I'll pass it back to Ian and Jorge.
Thank you, Amanda, both for your words and for your dedication and hard work to our clients and to our community. And thank you to all of the NWIRP staff and volunteers.
Yes, and Amanda, thank you again, and to everyone who has been so generous. Jorge, I have to tell you that, you know, this is what we always hope for. We mentioned earlier that Christina and Mark Dawson and John Aislinn had offered to match $20,000 worth of gifts. And we are hitting that right now. We are like right there. We're at 19, and if we can get one or two more gifts, we will be at 20,000. Oh, and it must be happening because we're seeing that it's going in, which puts us, so thank you to Christina and Mark and John, which puts us so close to arriving at our total goal, which is, we're just so grateful. And please, if you're able to help us, we would be so grateful. I have this sense that we might achieve that even in the next like 4 or 5 minutes before we end our time together. And as people are being so generous, and just before we say goodbye, Jorge, I know that people are showing up today, but how can people continue to help NWIRP not only today but throughout the year? If you would tell us, we'd love it.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. And I just so appreciative of the support. And of course, the financial support is so important to us. But there's other ways that people can help. We actually have a Take Action page where we share different ways that people can help. We obviously have volunteer opportunities. We especially would love pro bono attorneys and volunteer attorneys who are able to support our legal work. There's other ways through interpreters and other ways that people can volunteer. We also have ways for people to get involved in advocating for changes to immigration policy. Right now, for example, we're pushing, I mentioned the African Community Project earlier, and we're helping advocate for the Afghan Adjustment Act that's pending in Congress that we'd like to see move forward. We also want, there's a lot of immigrant rights organizations, both locally and throughout the country, that we'd like people to be able to support. So please consider that. So all of that is important, but I also think that, we talked earlier about, the ice crushers. And so we do want to mention that that's another way that you can support the NWIRP staff. Their next game is actually this Sunday at Evergreen Playfield in Mount Lake Terrace at 10:45 a.m. So if you're around the Puget Sound area and you'd like to come support the NWIRP soccer team, you can be there and support the soccer team. And again, we're so grateful for everybody who joined today, who took part of their lunch hour to join us. We are super grateful for the support. We can't do this work without the community who comes to us and helps us be there for our clients. We're very honored to have you in our community and in the NWIRP family. And please let your friends and family, we know only a certain number of people can be here online at this moment. So please make sure you continue to spread the word because as Ian mentioned, we want to continue hitting that goal. And so please share our donation link and let folks know about NWIRP's work.
And I have to just say, people are being so kind. And I just saw Malu is not only in the chat, but also contributing towards our thermometer. Malu, it's so nice to have you here. Thank you. And Virginia, thank you. And as you can see, we are just so close to arriving at that goal. So I just want to put in one more, request that if you can share, we would be so grateful. Also, Jorge talked about how you can support NWIRP throughout this coming year. And I want to remind everyone that a year from now, more or less, we will plan to gather on Thursday, April 20th, 2023 for an in-person gala at the Westin in Seattle. So please put that on your calendar now. And to end our celebration, we do want to invite someone that many of you may remember, a very good friend of NWIRP, Tomo Nakayama, played for us last year and is going to be playing an original song for us. I will say at the end of the song, I know a few more of you are sending in selfies. We'll have a chance to see those. Thank you all so much. Jorge, it's been such a pleasure.
Thank you, Ian.
So we're gonna send this to Tomo, and we will see you all again very soon. Thank you.
Hi everybody. Thanks for having me at the Gala for Northwest Immigrant Rights Project. It's an honor to be here again, and thank you for supporting the amazing work that they do. This is a song I wrote called Crows.
Let the morning begin. I'll run away with you towards the finish line. Arms open wide, let the sunlight in, and feel it breaking through the darkness and the strife. Into the sea, all the world's asleep. When you hear the crows go flying by, when you hear the crows go flying by. First time round, you're bound to make some mistakes. They're gonna stay with you for a little while, but that's alright, 'cause you'll know where to start. Darling, you'll make it through, just listen to your heart. can fly away.
Thank you.